After getting our butts absolutely whooped last episode by two very good Big Ten teams that threw almost 6 interceptions throughout both of them, it was not very pretty. We are now in week 10 of Dennis Archer's freshman season. And here is the big lad going into his weekly agenda. Obviously, I focused on experience, health, and of course academics and leadership, because it's really the only combination that I've been doing this whole time. Yes, Dennis Archer is a improviser himself out of Asheville, North Carolina. He committed to Northwestern and is almost through his freshman season. It hasn't been very good, trust me. Go watch the first few episodes to get caught up fully on it. But here we go. In week 10, we will be playing 5-2 Purdue. But of course, I had to get into practice first, which I ended up going with pass skeleton. I usually don't do it because you just can't. You have to get so lucky to be able to get gold. It's really, it's a tough one. And I mean, I did decently on it, but only bronze. Yeah, looking at Big Ten standings, this is typical Northwestern. We are second to last technically, even though Minnesota has more losses than us and less wins. But I guess, I don't know how that works, dude. Somehow we're slightly above Penn frickin' State. I'm guessing it's just because they lost all of their Big Ten games so far. But yeah, we're playing the 4th best team, technically, in the Big Ten. And here we are in Purdue, which isn't it like Indiana, I'm pretty sure? The home of Zach Edey. Oh, that's basketball, sorry. The home of... I don't know know college football that well. But we got the ball to start out, and it's a decently tough stadium. It's a really unique stadium, honestly. I really like it. Boilermakers, they really keep it the theme. I really like it a lot. But Stadium Pulse isn't too bad. It gets bad at some points, but it's really not awful. What was awful was our first play of scrimmage, as it would be a negative 4-yard rush. Just blown up. And of course, Coach calls his patented screenplays. This guy loves them way too much. And then on a 3rd and down, after a run / a screenplay to get us a 3rd and long, he calls all goes. Like, it's just the story of this entire season, and it doesn't stop. And trust me, these next 2 games, including this one, the play calling is just through the roof, insanely bad. And I mean, I get a completion to the tight end, but it just wasn't gonna go anywhere. It's 4th and 6. But at least our defense does hold the Boilermakers for a little while, as our run game finally starts to work for a little bit, until it is an option. I make the wrong decision. I mean, both decisions were wrong, so, not much I can do about it, but I could have gained yards with Cam Porter, but I decided to keep it, making it 3rd and 13. And yes, the original call was wide receiver mid-screen. The play call is so bad, and the other ones are, of course, all goes. But this time, I mean, whenever I'm rolling out, I usually just don't want to throw it because the throw and the run and all the accuracy is not good. So I usually end up scrambling. I'm sure down the line I'm eventually going to throw and it's going to be accurate, but for now I don't, as I just scramble. And I probably could have got it, but tough. I mean, I don't know what to say about it, dude. Poor decision making in the moment. But our defense holds them once again, as midway through the first, we got the ball with a 1st and 10 at midfield. We're on 2nd and 9. I throw a nice little easy drag across the middle for a 1st down, and also get a flag on Purdue for roughing me up too much, which I will certainly take. The penalties usually do not go our way, ever. There is usually, on a big play, holding on someone. It's so stupid. But it's realistic, but it's only on the big plays, of course. But at least we got one going our way now, as in the red zone, it is 1st and 10. Where after a couple of good rushes, it's 3rd and 1, where I'd make probably a bad decision, but, I mean, he could have caught it, it hit his hands, so, yeah, but there's definitely someone else open. But at least our coach does want to go for it, but it is only run plays. And one thing about not having a lot of coach trust is that I can't change the play when, I'm out there. Like, if it's a run and I see a guy wide open, just if it was, 4th and 1, and Y just so happened to be open and was not being covered, I can't change the play call. If that situation sometimes happens. Doesn't happen too often, but when it does, pretty frustrating. And of course, the run play gets blown up because it was a bad call. But yeah, that's the tough thing about starting out as a freshman. Well, I mean, of course you have to start as a freshman, but you know, freshman year you don't have a lot of coach trust. Kind of difficult. And of course they take the ball all the way from their like 7 for a touchdown. So that's awesome to make it 7-0 going into the second quarter. And coming immediately out of the second quarter, we get our biggest play, I think, of the day, probably? Maybe not, I don't know. On 2nd and 12, I scramble out, find a wide open lane, and get it almost all the way up to the 40, and I juke this guy out of his socks before getting rocked. But I didn't fumble, and I juked the hell out of a guy, so I will absolutely take that. But another thing that's going to happen a lot this episode is sacks. Not this game. You'll see it later today, but yeah, first time getting sacked today. Not good. 3rd and 18. And of course, coach has 3 choices for me. Wide receiver mid-screen, or wide receiver mid-screen, or drive. Which obviously I chose drive because it's the only one that has even a slim chance of getting a first down out of 3rd and 18. And of course, now is when the stadium pulse decides to work. It's not... The stadium's not even going that crazy. But I literally have like 5 attempts to try to get my wide receiver to go on a quarter, and he just won't. But he was basically already on an out route, but I threw a bad pass, and it was incomplete, so yeah. Incredible. And of course, they scored to make it 14-0. And once again, I have to scramble for my dear life immediately. As on 2nd and 11, I scramble all the way around the world, and then make it almost a first down, but thank God. I really actually do like this in College Football 25, how there is actually, like, legitimate, you know, roughing out of bounds, you know. Like, they really improved the penalties and how the AI, the referees, do the flags. And I really like it. It can be frustrating at points, obviously, with holding, but that's football. So now with a 1st and 10, which immediately becomes a 3rd and 8 at the 50, which I do actually complete on, once again, obviously, drive, as I nearly get sacked, but I throw a good pass to the guy, and it probably could have been better, but I really didn't want to throw to the linebacker, who was almost right there. So, yeah. Then on the next set of downs, it becomes a 3rd and 3, where on the deep curl, my guy, like, I throw with anticipation. That's what quarterbacks are supposed to do. That's what you do. I threw it with a lot of anticipation. Granted, it wasn't a great pass, but my guy still should have caught it, and he just kind of looked at it and he was like, oh. And honestly, so far this game, defense and special teams have been doing a fantastic job at giving us good field position. We just haven't done dog shit with it, only getting 3 points. But of course, right before halftime, coach gets way too aggressive. Granted, I definitely threw a bad pass, and it was picked off, but thankfully it was pass interference. But for some reason, coach just does not want to quit. With 1 second left, he does Hail Mary, and it was almost picked off, but like, it's just ruining my stat line. Like, I'm not trying to stay at Northwestern, like, what the hell, man? Now coming out of halftime, they immediately get the ball and make it 24-3. But now we turn it the frickety frack on. As on 2nd and 11, I throw the easy drag across the middle. My guy runs all the way up into Purdue territory. Then on 3rd and 7, I see the mismatch, throw an absolutely perfect dime right into the hands of my receiver for the easy touchdown to finally put us on the board offensively. Now, after our defense did hold Purdue for a little bit, not a great job. Bit of a road bump in the eventual journey. I got sacked on 2nd and 10. 3rd and 22, coach calls all goes, doesn't go anywhere, we have to punt. But our defense once again holds the hot Purdue offense, and on 3rd and 5 this next drive, I find X over the middle on the slant as he gets tackled to make the first down. Coach then calls 2 screens in a row to make it 3rd and 10, where I make the out route to make it 4th and 5. I made it manageable, but unfortunately, I just was way too fast with my decision making. I would have gotten sacked if I didn't throw this early, but definitely threw to the wrong guy. And yeah, it was incomplete. Now into the 4th quarter, our defense holds once again. Our offense is just getting harried by this defense. It is just truly impressive how bad we are. But now on the next drive, I scramble a couple of times to make it 1st and 10 at the 24, where it eventually becomes 1st and goal at the 1, where I would throw nice easy curl to the tight end to get us 1 step closer. And I do want to say, of course, I listened to the commentary as I'm playing. At one point, During the fourth quarter, it was like 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left, whatever. We were down 24-10. One of the commentators said, in reference to us, they're not going to get out of here with a win, but that's okay. They can build on it, or whatever the hell they say. And look at us now. 4 minutes left. Our defense holds. We have it in plus territory, almost in the red zone, which we eventually turn into 4th and 4, which isn't great, but through the easy drag, he breaks a tackle or two to get us all the way up to the 4 for 1st and goal. And then I don't trust myself running and passing, so I scramble in to the end zone to take the frickin' frackin' lead. That's right, we were down 24-3. Look at us now with the lead with 4 minutes left in the 4th. And our defense holds, which means that we just have to run it out, and we could get away with a win, which I do a lot of clock managing, and we're getting first downs. We really are for a while. They have to start calling timeouts. It's 2 minutes left. Cam Porter is running the ball out, but this would be our demise, as I would hand off to Joseph Hyman II. He would find the outside and get in for the touchdown. I know, it's good that we got a touchdown, but he left 1:46 left on the clock. They had no timeouts left. We would get the 8-point lead, but of course, with 33 seconds left, Purdue would tie it up. And we couldn't do anything with the ball, so it would be overtime, my first college football overtime. Yeah, we could have just avoided this, got out of here so much easier, but nope, it's overtime. Which I am kind of excited for, but this should be done. This really should be done. And I can't choose whether it's heads or tails, which I kind of don't like, but I think it makes sense, because I don't have enough coach trust. I think that's perfectly fine. I personally was saying tails never fails, just so you know, and Purdue won with tails, so just saying. But they did give us the ball first, and of course, first play, holding on our offense. Awesome. And then, because I do have the jitters, I am a bit of a freshman myself, I throw my pick, my only pick of this game. Yeah, it was up to our defense. Don't have a lot of faith in them, not great. And all they have to do, I'm pretty sure, is just go for the field goal, right? I'm pretty sure. 5-yard rush, incomplete pass, and a sack. It is double overtime, and they start out with the ball, but of course they immediately get the touchdown to make it 38-32. And coach immediately calls the play that I threw the last interception on. I don't know what the hell is wrong with coach, but I get sacked on 1st and 10, roll out, make a nice little jukey juke to get us all the way up to the 5, where I'd roll out, nearly get sacked, not throw hard enough, and it would be picked off. Yeah, and we would lose a game that we should have won. But Joseph Hyman sold, number 1, and I sold 2 interceptions. In overtime, yeah, our defense did everything that they could, and they still gave up 38 points, which is insane. So, yeah, we have a lot to work on, but, yeah, that was very, very unfortunate, as we now fall to 3-6 and 1-5 in the Big Ten. And we are on a losing streak and a half, which makes sense because I immediately get a text from Donna Harper, who is a local TV reporter. And she says it has been a rough going the past couple of weeks for Northwestern. What needs to change to break this losing streak? And me personally, I certainly have been the only person to blame. It hasn't only been coach. He's had some good games. I should not promise a win next week because we're just not going to, because it is number, I believe, like 11, Ohio State. So, yeah, that's just not happening. So I was thinking probably blame the entire team, because that includes me, because I haven't been good. Defense has never been good. Coach hasn't been good at points. So I end up going with blame the team, because it really has been a whole team effort to get us into this place. But unfortunately, this means that I blame everyone except for me, which is not what I wanted to do, because I have definitely not been doing good. Again, 5 interceptions. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that kind of sucks that it just made me do that. So I lose leadership, lose coach trust. But I don't care. I'm not going to be here. I really want to get the hell out of here as soon as I can. I only have 3 games left, so I then simulate to week 11 and immediately get a little text from Parker, who says that he has the answers to the geology test, which if I wanted to get them, I'm sure I just could. So I don't really care, and I'll just study anyway. And also, these profile pictures are not getting any better. Like, my god, what is going on? That's like full chin, no forehead? Jesus, dude. But we do have a bye week in week 11, which I just do weekly agenda, obviously, training, health, all the important stuff. I don't do any into academics, as I just did that. So I just get max health, and also, if you can hear my dog barking, he's a bit of a silly boy. My dad is back, and yeah, he's a bit silly. But then I get into practice, which I end up doing target passing. I haven't done this one since Madden, because in Madden, everyone was good at it, and I was bad at it, so I didn't like it at all. But here, I actually did really, really well, and I actually ended up getting gold, which I will absolutely take. But that is week 11, so I go into week 12. Yeah, looking at our schedule, we haven't won since week 7 in Maryland, where we blew out the Terrapins. And other than that, we just beat Duke and FCS Midwest barely. It has not been pretty. We lost to, Miami of Ohio, Washington, which was a close game. Indiana was not pretty. Wisconsin, Iowa, and obviously last Purdue, not pretty either. But I first do have weekly agenda, which I did a little bit into academics, a little bit into leadership, obviously XP and health as well. Now we got practice, which I'm doing something different. I'm not doing only option attack this episode. Look at me, I'm growing. And honestly, I didn't really realize I can do some of these other minigames. I really didn't think I could previously, but I can. As I was one sack away from getting gold here, as I just got sacked barely on the last one. So close, bruh. I had an 11 multiplier. If I just got one more, I definitely would have gotten gold. But it brought me down to 1, and I only got silver. Here we go! Ohio State. Northwestern. Oh, Jesus. And I really don't want to spoil anything for you. All just because it wasn't pretty. I don't want to give you a drive-by-drive analysis on this game, because pretty much the exact same thing happened every single time. We would run the ball, run a screenplay, or it would be incomplete. I would maybe fumble, maybe throw a pick. That only happened once or twice, but then I would get sacked at least once per drive. They would then score and repeat. We didn't even get into plus territory until it was 21-0, where we had to kick a field goal. By the second quarter, it was 21-3. Trust me, coach was not calling good plays, but he couldn't have been doing any better if I'm being honest. I had to scramble so much. As I said, I was sacked a total of 12 times in this game. This was awful. My wear and tear went from fully healthy to almost severe. Like, Jesus frickin' Christ. And our defense would actually hold Ohio State for a while all throughout the first half. I'm guessing because Ohio State was just kind of sleeping through the whole thing, they really didn't have to try at all. But eventually I did manage to get a touchdown by getting rocked. That's how I did, but by scrambling in. So that's fun, but it wouldn't get better. By halftime, it would be 31-10. I would have 2 interceptions on the day. And yeah, by the end of the game, it would be 41-10. Ohio State would have the same amount of sacks on me as their rank. I don't even want to look at my stats. I might look at my stats next episode. But I somehow leveled up after the game. I don't know how. That was awful. I wasn't even frustrated because I expected exactly what was going to happen. But then going in to week 12, I would get a text from Karen Jones, the academic advisor, saying that I had finals on week 15. And yeah, okay, I'll go to concert to do some stupid American music class. I don't know why I would be American music of history or whatever. I don't know why I'm in that, but I am. So yeah, next week we got Michigan, which technically is going to be an easier matchup for us. It's not. We're going to be in Michigan. It's just not going to be good. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully you're going to enjoy next episode. Yeah, I'm going to have every single playlist right on the screen right now, as well as maybe in this description. I forget. I might do it. I might not. But yeah, not a great episode. Overtime, that was fun. That was cool. Cool little comeback. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you next time. See ya.